Comic books and books is a section. Not a whole lot of new stuff going on here, but we do have some stuff, so let's do that. Welcome, nerds, to the comic books and book news for the week. This is where we talk about all things comic books and literature related. So if there's a new book coming out, we're not going to get into individual arcs necessarily, unless there's some sort of like major publisher-wide effects that are going to be related to said arc. We don't really get into individual arcs or individual issues. We just talk about the broader news at large. So without any further ado, let's talk about some comic books and possibly some books as well. It's all regular news. The regular news for comic books and books is Moon Knight is getting killed off and then resurrected brand new. Though it is noteworthy in that this was kind of known for some time because previews are a thing, and so previews are like months and months out. But it was thought that it was going to be, when Moon Knight was brought back, it was going to be a completely different character. Female character from the books. Can't remember her name right now, not in the notes. You know how it goes. So yeah, the new book is going to be called Vengeance, Moon Knight Vengeance. The writer is going to be Jed MacKay, and the artist is going to be Alessandro Cappuccio. The new, and then there's a new suit as well for the Moon Knight, which looks freaking awesome. If you're watching the show right now, then you're seeing it on the screen. If you're listening to the show, you should be watching. It looks pretty freaking awesome, and it also very much looks like it could still be Mark Spector, just another one of his personalities being awakened, because that's kind of the language they use in the new previews. So very interesting there. From there, though, let's move over to the other piece of news. We only have the two. The other piece of news is the Ultimate Universe is making a return. Jonathan Hickman is coming back with Bryan Hitch to reboot the Ultimate Universe. We've kind of speculated that this might happen, and here's the announcement that it is in fact happening. Hickman is going to be doing, starting in November is when the series will be on shelves. It is going to be following the Ultimate Invasion arc that is currently going on. So this could be freaking pretty significant. The Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe is going to be a major factor in the rebooting of the Ultimate Universe. So we've got a lot more comic books to read, apparently, because Hickman is no slouch when it comes to that. Hopefully they'll keep the Ultimate Universe running for a little while longer this time, and I don't know, maybe write some quality stuff that comic book nerds want to read. So that's what we got for comic books and books. So suggestions for comic books this week. We're going Amalgam Universe, Dark Claw again. We've talked about this previously. There was a time in the early 90s where DC and Marvel writers were boycotting, I believe is what happened there. They weren't writing for DC and Marvel. They needed something to do. They were selling their own stuff, so they created the Amalgam Universe, which is taking superheroes from the DC side and the Marvel side and mashing them up together, and that's how we got some really interesting stuff in the early 90s, not the least of which being Dark Claw, which is the amalgamation of Wolverine and Batman. So it's Logan Wayne is the name of the character, and it's basically Batman's history with Wolverine's abilities, and then this it's just really freaking cool. If you've never read it, then try to get your hands on it. You might have to go like find a digital copy of it, because I don't know, it's pretty difficult to find physical copies of. I do have a couple of the issues physically in my collection, but those don't get touched. Either way, it's a whole hell of a lot of fun, so definitely go read some Amalgam. Dark Claw this week as your book suggestion. Once again, nerds, this is just the comic books and books section from the Week in Nerddom, which is the much longer video that gets posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy or @generallynerdy, however you gotta find it. That's the main channel. You get the entire, usually around about an hour-long video there that goes into other topics as well, TV, movies, rumors, etc., etc. Go check that out. Before we leave you, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.